Like a lot of filmmakers, I was drawn to the unexplained as a source of inspiration. But the more I've explored real-life paranormal encounters, the more I've had to question everything I thought I knew. I now know that there is something out there, and we can engage with it. Myself and fellow filmmaker Andy are inviting you to tag along on our journey so that you can see for yourselves. We'll be travelling across the UK, seeking out genuine paranormal investigations.
Around the corner.
Monster.
From real-life teams.
Serious question. Is anyone on the other side of this door?
Hell-bent on finding answers.
8, 7.
Did you just hear that knocking?
Jeez, this looks creepy as hell down here. In our first 3 episodes, we'll be spending the night in businesses with ghosted residents, where the paranormal isn't just a selling point, it's a daily reality. Welcome to the Supernatural UK. Objects that move. The Museum of Curiosities in Nottingham. Tonight's investigators are the healer and the teacher. Originally housed in an old and allegedly haunted cinema near the railway station, its bizarre collection now has a new home on the Derby Road. But has something followed it?
Here we have Jess, who is a spirit attachment. She attached herself to the wedding dress. She does turn up in investigations quite regularly, and some people have even thought that they've had a guided tour from her. This doll was found in the room where the Butcher of Hanover lived. The Butcher of Hanover was a serial killer who had a predilection for teenage boys and young men. I've seen this doll moving in its locked cabinet. At first it was like a little hand was taking a hold of the bottom of the dress and tugging on it in this direction. The doll actually started jerking, like it was trying to show its other face. The original head from the actual movie, that was down in the room on top of the cabinets, and one morning he just fell right off. He ended up on the other side of the room, and we don't know how he got there.
Deep within a building, a discovery only adds to its eerie reputation.
Steve one day moved the cabinet and there was a whole lot of dirt behind there, and he started moving the dirt and found steps. There was weeks and weeks of overnights just digging and digging and digging out decades worth of sandstone, and we found this cave and this tunnel here.
Spread over 4 floors, the museum is crammed with thousands of unsettling artefacts. Human skulls, taxidermy and haunted objects, each linked to infamous supernatural events.
We have here 2 human skulls. One of them has a spirit attachment, the other one hasn't been investigated yet. Which one would you like to hold first?
I'll go for the
Big one, go for the big one.
big one. The big one then, yeah.
There you go.
My heart's it's going really bad fast there. I feel like all emotions been ripped from me. I just feel cold emotions, that's about it.
Upstairs in the maximum security doll room, Yvonne catches something, a movement inside one of the locked cabinets.
You know, you just see something stop. And then we walked away, we went back, and I stood literally here, and that was just going woo like that.
I hadn't even set my camera up yet, and so I just whipped out my phone and caught the movement on that. Right time at the right place. And then I do it. Nothing. It was so strange, no one touched the cabinet, there was no draft, no breeze, and it did only react to Yvonne's friend Cherry. It certainly didn't move for me.
When we were down by the railway station, the dolls were in an enclosed room. There were 2 doors to it, but you could stand in there with both doors completely closed. There was no airflow, nothing, no windows, and the dolls would often spin. They'd often spin because you asked them to, but they don't seem to do it as much here.
And when I had set up my camera, the dolls decided to put on a show just for me. Again, no breeze, No vibrations, just rocking on their own. I even checked for hidden wires to make some sense of it, but there was nothing. So, is something within these walls trying to get our attention? And so we turn to our investigators, Justin and Diane, and ask, can objects really be haunted, possessed, or even cursed?
I think it is possible, but whether it's actually a spirit or an entity of a human that's jumped in there or not, I'm not sure. But I think possibly if people have enough intention, that maybe they can create a haunted object.
Really just hoping that if there is a possessed object, doll, whatever in this place, then it reveals itself in some form that's going to convince me.
Let's go and see what we can find. How are you? Oh, great, thanks. Looking forward to having a good explore around.
I'm going to try and find some haunted objects if you've got them, see if they're possessed. I think the idea really is to see if we can maybe split up first thing. Would you be able to show us whereabouts to go?
Yeah, so one of you can go that way and the other one can go that way.
Okay.
Right, ready?
Ready as I ever be, Justin?
I'll see you in a bit.
Diane delves into the sinister history of the Pendle Witch Cave, while Justin stumbles upon a chilling urban legend, the Crying Boy paintings, infamous for allegedly sparking house fires across the UK.
I don't quite know and understand why somebody decided that a crying boy was responsible for the fire in the first place. Maybe it's because it was an unexplained fire. They couldn't possibly have thought of any reason for there to be a cause for the fire. But then it became a thing. It became widespread across the media, and then you see people burning their copies of the painting, thinking that these images were cursed. They're just a sad-looking painting. I don't think they're responsible for any kind of fires. But yet, the tabloid media pick up on these things, and a curse is born.
Meanwhile, Diane turns to an ancient technique, dowsing, using a pendulum to search for unseen forces.
This one is crystal, but years ago they were made of metal or wood. It's a divination tool, so people would have used it for finding water, gold maybe, but tonight we're going to try and use it to see if we can find any spiritual energy that may be trapped within a doll or an item or an article. And we do this by a series of movements. So it will move one way for no, another way for yes, and sometimes it will spin around for a maybe or can you rephrase that question. But it's important that we ask questions where we get a yes or a no answer.
Beneath Nottingham, a network of 400 caves lies in darkness. Medieval, older, their purpose remains unknown.
One of the theories is that it was a means of earning rent from people. A bit surreptitiously, even if you didn't have much money, you could have one of the cellar rooms or sort of the basement cave rooms rather than having one of the dwellings up above, which might be more expensive. So, and if you didn't have, like I say, if you didn't have much money, you could possibly create your own home just by digging under the ground.
I won't say that I'm attuned to it all the time, but occasionally I've certainly have sort of picked up some sort of vibe, and sometimes someone will back me up with that and sort of say I've got the information right, and other times not. I think you act sort of a bit like a radio, but a bit like a transistor, and sometimes you're just able to tap into a certain frequency and pick something up, and other times you're not. I don't like to hold it too long. So, I mean, it says this skull is haunted, so we could ask, is there a spirit? You see, that's beginning to go. So that's moving, yes, so is there a spirit attached to this skull? Okay, thank you. Are you male? And that indicates a no. Thank you. Are you female? Come on. Doesn't want to answer that question for some reason. I need to rephrase it. So, I don't know what to say. Are you a young woman? So that would indicate yes.
Diane investigates the second skull.
Did you die of natural causes? No. So, maybe they were murdered or in an accident? Did you die as a result of an accident? So that's quite a big swing backwards and forwards, so that indicates a yes.
Upstairs, Justin uncovers another mystery.
These two portraits, this husband and wife, before their deaths, performed some kind of dark ritual where their souls were bound together, apparently, which is a fantastic story. But apparently, if you separate, they must always be together, looking at each other like this and have their portraits close together. Which is why I really, really want to piss them off by moving one of these pictures. I'm thinking that she is probably going to get really annoyed, so I'm going to move him, I think. Leave her there. I want to see if I can really anger her by getting rid of her husband somewhere.
Let's hope he isn't stirring up more trouble than he realises. Diane is doing her best to find some demonic dolls who might like to attach themselves to Justin.
Would you like to speak with Justin? No. Wherever you look, wherever you're standing, she looks like she's looking at you. Young woman's soul likes to open doors, likes people's keys. Is there a spirit within this doll? Well, that's quite a big yes, thank you. Would you like to speak with Justin downstairs? Yes, thank you. Will you be nice to Justin? No. She wants to talk to Justin. Justin is also known as the paranormal monkey, so, you know. Is there a spirit of Billy inside this toy? Yes. Thank you, Billy. Billy, would you like to come and talk with us? No. That was a firm no. Okay, we'll leave you there then. A succubus is a female demon, where an incubus is a male demon. If we do something with this lady, then it'd be best to have Justin. A two-headed cow.
Now this is where things get really strange. Out of the dozens of dolls in the room, one in particular seems to pull Diane in.
The middle doll in here, in like the brown lace dress, I haven't seen anything like that before. It's got the very, very black eyes. Even though she looks like she's been burnt or something, there's something very humanoid about the way she looks.
Why that doll? It's an incredible coincidence for her to pick that one with no prior knowledge of what happened earlier when I was there on my own. We've already witnessed unexplained movements, dolls shifting on their own and even responding to people, but now Diane seems inexplicably fixated on the same doll. Could it be that she has something in store for us?
She's wonderful. She looks great. I can see why people might think that this model, that image, the painting behind, brings about some kind of experience for them, some psychological impact. It's the whole black and white negative thing. So when they close their eyes, they can still see that image in you know, it's almost burned into their minds. But yeah, I like that. That's cool.
For tonight's experiment, Diane has chosen 3 dolls, including you-know-who, with those unsettling beady eyes.
It's Justin's new girlfriend.
This building is crammed full of like hundreds of stuff that might be, hundreds of things that might actually be haunted with the spirit of something. You know, I mean, for all I know, the lovely nun there might be haunted. People have had experiences in this building. If we're going to get anything, this is an ideal place to actually get something, but it'd have to be doing something really, really interesting and really definite for me to believe it. We're just setting up a 360 camera, just so where we're going to do a little investigation down here. So we've got camera rolling, we have a mic down here. Hopefully we can try and capture some EVPs of anything that may want to talk to us, which would be lovely.
Electronic voice phenomenon. EVP refers to unexplained sounds and sometimes voices captured on audio recordings during paranormal investigations. Now these things are just weird. We can be running sometimes 12 microphones at once, and then whilst editing I'll find a disembodied voice on just one of the tracks, sometimes in response to a specific question. We'll represent an EVP with a waveform visual like this one for each EVP we come across.
This little thing here, it's called a seismo. All it is going to do is record any vibrations whatsoever that may occur within this room. So it's a case of turning it on, it'll flash a couple of times, place it down, that'll calibrate now. Once it turns itself off, it'll turn there, it'll go blank. Now that's ready to go. And if there's any vibration, it will shine at purple and make a beeping noise. Here we go.
Hello. Hello, I've brought a couple of lovely ladies for you.
Will you? Look at them. What have you got? What is that? They're hideous.
This is Izzy. Look.
Okay.
This is your gorgeous redhead for the
That's
evening.
very nice, beautiful. What's the story of Izzy?
Well, we don't know much about Izzy, but she wanted to speak to you.
It's a weird thing, this. You know, even thinking about talking to a doll. Right,
Just go with it.
I will go with it. But if it wants to talk,
just come out of your comfort zone and talk to the dolly.
Yeah, I know it's ridiculous. But if she wants to talk, I'm willing to listen. Let's do it that way.
This little lady just really pulled me in for some reason. I mean, look at those eyes.
Yeah, they are. They're like a shark.
This is a succubus. We're possessed by a succubus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do we know? What do we know about her?
A succubus is a demonic entity that is known to enter men's dreams in a specific way and can make them very unwell from those dreams.
Okay.
Yeah. She did once break her own cabinet because a man was laughing at her.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah. So which one do you think is best to be the main focus in here, this room?
I think it needs to be the succubus.
Well, particularly as I've been laughing about it. Fine, yeah, let's have her in. Let's have her in.
The cellar is set. At the centre, succubus. Jeez, this looks creepy as hell down here. At the far end of the corridor, Shark Girl sitting beneath the nun. And at the opposite end, Izzy, placed next to Jess in her wedding dress.
There is a little microphone to the side of us. If you want to talk to us, tell us your name.
Are you able to show us in some way that you have the ability to move?
If you want to look at me properly, turn this way, or just show me that you're kind of interested or not interested. Can you move? You've moved before. Do you want to move now? If there are any spirits attached to any of the dolls in this place, if you can hear my voice now.
That is, I think that is a beat of some music from next door. That boom,
Is it
boom, boom.
consistent?
No.
No, there was about 4. It sounded like a bit of a music beat to me.
I can hear a bit of music in the background.
I would guess that's the wind. Is there any kind of like an open panel or anything like that that would allow the wind to come down into this area?
No.
It almost sounded a bit like dragging.
So is it kind of like contained down here?
Yeah.
And that was a big thud then, wasn't it, though? That was a big bang. But what was it that banged? That's a bit of music. If that's a entity, a spirit, a soul, making that banging noise, can you do that again for us, please?
So you've got the deep rumble of the traffic, which I can kind of just about pick up in here. Like a deep bass sound. What's interesting though is that the 2 vibration monitors that's on the floor in here are not picking up that vibration, and they're incredibly sensitive.
But something went off.
Something, yeah.
Something went bang and that went off,
Yeah.
Okay, so if you just done 3 knocks, can you do that for us louder again, please? Much louder. Can you come closer with that? Come closer to us and knock again.
Like the EVP thing, the sounds we were hearing in that cave were very strange, and the audio you hear doesn't really do justice to actually being there. We know the building is empty, but there are footsteps above us, banging, sensors going off on command, and then this weird tapping on the walls. I've got to admit, there are a few moments down there where it even got a little bit scary. So, is everyone hearing what I'm hearing?
Can you hear it? How clearly can you hear it on yours?
That's footsteps now.
That's footsteps.
Was that like what you heard? You told me that you heard like footsteps walking around above you.
Yeah, very similar.
What's really difficult for me to kind of determine is the source of those footsteps. We're right next to a pub. We're right next to a pavement. You know, with anybody walking past, how clearly
Those footsteps,
would you be able to hear those
but
footsteps?
those, to me, those footsteps, if that was footsteps, sound like it was on floorboards rather than on concrete. The doll sitting round the corner there in the, I like to say, chocolate brown lace dress. Can you move for us? Can you set that sensor off in front of you? Set the light off to let us know. Set it off if you want to come back round here. Bang, bang, bang.
So there's lots. There is lots of noise, music
Yeah.
from the pub.
But there's something banging as well, isn't there?
There is something banging, but I'm trying to work out whether it's cars going over grates.
The basement cave has already been alive with activity. Could Shark Girl be the one responsible? We have encountered knocking, footsteps, motion sensors activating on command, and even EVPs. But now we're looking for a rational explanation. Justin and Diane attempt to recreate the sounds, testing the resonance of floorboards, grates and manhole covers.
Anything?
Yeah, I can hear you walking, but it's not as the base of it isn't as deep. Anything that sounds like footsteps, chances are they are footsteps, but it's a case of people rather than
Pinpointing them.
it's pinpointing it down, and it's I always go back to, just because something is unexplained does not make it paranormal.
Justin takes to the streets.
Footsteps. Yeah.
But there's no coverings immediately outside. There are further down the road. Because of these kind of cavernous, these spaces, it could be, some of it could have been caused by like the traffic, because it's constant traffic past it. But there's nothing immediately outside this building that would cause.
But now we've got no more, well, to our knowledge, that hasn't been flashing anymore, has it either?
No.
But something tells us this investigation isn't over yet, because Shark Girl still demands attention.
There's just something really mesmerising about those eyes. They look so real. You know, they look like they're looking at you.
You were brought in as a gift. So, if there is a spirit or a soul or some sort of entity inside you, can you do something for us? Can you either say something?
Can you move? Can you set that light off again?
It happened a little while ago in that other room. We've brought you round here. Can you do it for us? Because really that would make Justin really happy, if you could.
Can you do anything to prove that you are here and you either want to stay here or you no longer want to be here, you would rather be somewhere else? If I offend you, can you do something?
Did either of you hear that?
High pitched.
No, I thought I heard 2 footsteps again.
Did you? Where was that from? Around the corner?
Can you do that again for us? Can you walk loudly on the staircases? Can you hear something?
Yeah, but it sort of sounds like something tapping on here.
You need to do that louder for us, so we know you're here. Much louder. It was just sort of one, wasn't it?
Remember, these are EVPs, recordings we couldn't hear down there and then on the night. We only found them after the event.
Maybe I'm too closed off and too skeptically minded, but in terms of you're a bit more spiritual, did you pick up on anything spiritually or get a particular feeling from any object that you found today?
Well, the skulls, using the pendulum, I got some answers there. This little doll was the one that I was really drawn to, and I've now since found out there is previous footage with this doll and something happening.
Right, okay. She's that bored of you.
Oh, no, she doesn't want to know. And this one, she actually, the pendulum moved quite a bit with her.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and when I said your name, did she want to come and speak to you? It was a very firm yes.
Justin hasn't yet heard the EVP recordings, but when we left the equipment running, plenty more were captured.
I think as soon as people start linking something that's happened to an item, then it's really hard to get rid of that. So if they think they have a doll that looks creepy, they hear an unexpected noise, it becomes very quick and easy to blame the creepy looking doll on that unexpected event. That's what I personally think. One monitor went off, but a second monitor, probably only about 8 foot away, didn't go off, and I actually expected, if there's a vibration across on the same floor, the same area, only 8 foot difference, there shouldn't have been that much difference. I'd expect them both go off at the same time, but they didn't. We just haven't been able to find an explanation for what caused that vibration.
Obviously, we're very aware that there is a pub next door and there's people outside and it's noisy, but also they did sometimes appear to happen when we asked them to. Now, it could be coincidence, but maybe it's not. So I think we need to remain open-minded.
It could have been in response to some of our questions, or it could have just been really good timing.
I think it definitely needs looking into far more and more time with the same and certain objects.
And in particular, Shark Girl. Of course, there could be another culprit, or maybe something is planning to follow Justin home tonight.
I would love the succubus to come and visit me this evening and whisper sweet nothings into my ear tonight, because if that happens, I will be the first person to contact you in the morning.